You. I know you from Alik'r. You roughed up so many of my bravos. Tamriel is a small place, after all. I just returned from Alik'r myself, back in my chair, drinking my wine with my wife. Wait. Please tell me you're not here to disturb me. No! You realize what this means. Not one moment of relaxation, not one. And damn it, I thought this talk about the withered hand was just rumor. Are you sure this is true? The Sentinel docks? The nerve. But it sounds like something those motherless dogs would do. I tell you, Uwafa and Alasan might just be more dangerous than their father. Uwafa and Alasan are the sons of that old bastard Satura. They're calling themselves the Withered Hand as a fear tactic. I knew them when they were boys. They're the same age as Prince Azar. Speaking of whom, we should inform him as well. Exactly. He knows more about this business than I do. That's for sure. If you'll go round up the prince, I'll have to find some way to explain to my wife why I'm leaving again. Then we can all... My guess is that he's with the girls at his seraglio by the north wall. I know what you're thinking, but it's not because the prince is some kind of ladies' man. The girls help him gather information. Perhaps he'll already know what's happened. My hope is that Prince Azar might have a lead on where Uwafa and Alasan have set up their headquarters, or better yet, what they're planning next. Regardless, these are things we should discuss at the palace. We all do. Satura was one of the king's viziers, kept his little hobby a secret. Then one day the king came to meet his viziers and found them all dead. The real surprise was when Satura ordered their corpses to attack. That's how it started. I tried to train them in swordplay. Uwafa and Alasan along with Prince Azar. Those two had no interest, though. I would always catch them torturing insects and animals. The prince, he hated them, and they hated him right back.
Spare any coins?
I should have tried to stop them. I'm sorry. So sorry. What have I done? It was a nightmare. These savage men burst into the seraglio. They struck down the guards and even sweet little Rohiba. And then they took the prince. Please, would you go after them? You have to. No, yet another way in which I failed. I should have followed them out into the street. I'm such a fool. Maybe someone else out there saw them. Maybe they can tell you which way those men took the prince.
Prince, someone help! They took him!
That way. They went that way.
They took the prince down the path. Hurry!
I tried, but they got me with their evil magic. They took the prince. Down there. I think it leads out of the city. Please, go stop them.
I don't recognize you, but under the circumstances, I'm certainly glad to make your acquaintance. You will be well rewarded for assisting me. I can promise that much. Ah, so you do know who I am, then? Did my father put you up to this? Is he keeping tabs on me? Well, I shouldn't be so accusatory. If he was tracking me, then I guess that turned out to be extremely fortunate. I don't wish to seem ungrateful, but you should know that kidnapping me was just a distraction. The Withered Hand, they've been planning this for years. If only we had heard the rumors sooner. At this point, I don't think we can stop them. From tunneling into the impervious vault, this tunnel was just one of their attempts. It's a brilliant plan, really. The gates of the vault have been magically sealed for centuries, but underneath, the vault's apparently not so impervious. Undoubtedly, they're hoping to steal the Ansei wards. With the wards, Wafa and Alisan could become unimaginably powerful. It could be bad. Really bad. Even if we can't stop them, we have to try. We should get back to the palace and tell my father. Let's head south. There's a ladder leading up into the city. Go on and tell my father what they're planning. I'm going to call the guard to the vault.
Word has reached me of what happened at the Seraglio. I should have seen this coming. Please, tell me you found Prince Azar, and he is safe. I told Toda you'd come through. I had a feeling about you, right from the start. Tell me, though, where is Azar? And was this the extent of the Withered Hand's plot? Or do they presently plan some further insult to my family and my kingdom? Blade's Edge. How could they? Would that actually work? If they get into the vault, they could steal the Ansei wards. And then... we must hurry. We have to stop them at all costs. I can take guards to the Impervious Vault, but we're going to need help from the Mages Guild. As much as I hate to admit it, only they know how to unseal the vault. Will you go to the guild for me, Wayfarer? When you reach the Mages Guild Tower, speak to Gabrielle. She understands the need for discretion. I will meet you at the Impervious Vault. Tawaka watch over you, Wayfarer. Let us hope we can keep the Ansei wards from falling into enemy hands.
feel my legs.
Hey, I know you. We killed that crazy old necromancer together, Angoff. Remember that midnight talisman we used to break into Cathedral? I still can't believe that worked. So I don't suppose you need help with something fun like that. Are you joking? I've been wanting to take a crack at that place ever since I heard the name. Wait a minute. Did Simone put you up to this? Why would the king want to break into the vault? Necromancers? Ansei wards? Fascinating. Count me in. So we just need to break the seal? I know. Let's try this. Go to the bazaar and get flamestock from Lucien and Worm's headcap from Ninaba. Then meet me at the vault. This could work.
Take your time and browse, my friend. I'm sure you'll find I have what you've always wanted. This is for Gabrielle, isn't it? She's a regular. In a city like Sentinel, we Bretons have to stick together. I have some in stock. You're welcome to them. Don't worry about payment. I know Gabrielle's good for it. I'm sorry, but I'm out of stock. Because I'm out of stocks. Seriously though, some Lion Guard mages came through and bought my last batch. Ninabon, the lizard trainer, might have some.
Welcome to Ninabon's Emporium of strange and wonderful things. Can I interest you in a lizard catching net? Or perhaps a trained lizard? Flame stalks, tasty treats. They help with indigestion. For a lizard, at least. You're not a lizard. What do you need them for? For some spell with Gabrielle, I bet. And she doesn't even like lizards. Oh well, just take them. But she owes me. Oh, you must mean Monkey. Yes, he is adorably large, isn't he? I'm afraid I spoil him. Only the best bugs are good enough for my monkey. He's quite smart, aren't you, Monkey? Quite a little smarty. Yes, it may seem odd, but it makes sense to me. From the time I could walk, I wanted a pet monkey. I pleaded and begged, but my father always refused. Monkeys are arboreal, he said. I still don't know what that means. One has to start somewhere. Monkeys are terrific. Everyone loves monkeys. And if I can't have a monkey, a lizard's the next best thing. You know, sometimes I wonder how my life would be different if my father had only given me a monkey.
Aha, perfect. Say, though, you didn't happen to pick up a few giant's toes while you were at the bazaar, did you? That's fine. Giant's toes could make a bigger gap in the seal, but they're probably hard to find here anyways. These should do the trick, I think. Worm's head on top of the flame stock, or flame stock inside the worm's head. Oh, absolutely. It's only one person going in anyways. Without the giant's toes, I can only open the seal so far. Of course. Vaharajad thinks that one person should be you. He wants to talk to you first, though. Go on up. Sure. I just need a minute to think about how exactly to word this. Gotta, gotta. Go on. I'll be right up.
if we are too late, the implications are unthinkable for all of Alik'r. I've prayed to Tuatha, Stindar, and even Akatosh. Though I do not hold them sacred, I will pray to the Yokudan gods as well, just in case. Your hope is contagious, Wayfarer. I am pleased that your road has led you here. General Thoda is not a man of faith, but even he agrees your coming seems more than a coincidence. If only one of us can enter the vault, I think it should be you. I cannot adequately express my gratitude. You must be careful, though. Azar believes the Withered Hand is far more powerful than we realized. Uwafa and Alisan in particular. If you see either of them, I suggest you exercise extreme caution. I pray that we are not too late to stop the Withered Hand. And with the same breath, I thank the gods for guiding you here. Tuatha watch over you, Wayfarer. Here comes Gabrielle. Are you ready?
It is rare for General Thoda to offer word
Stand
of
back,
praise,
Your Majesty.
but he speaks highly of
I'm
you.
not sure how the vault will react. I hope this works. It worked. Go quickly. I don't know how long it'll stay open.
They've broken into the vault. Stop them, fools! Get the Ansei wards out, now!
You are not marked with the corruption of undeath, nor those that foster it. You are not aligned with them, are you? You sought to protect the wards? Praise Tuatha. That means there are still living those who oppose the menace of necromancy in the Alik'r. Hearken closely then, for my spirit cannot abide here long. We sacrificed ourselves to create the wards, and through them we have protected the consecrated dead. But the wards have fallen into corrupted hands now, and we are powerless to stop them. You must recover the wards. I do not know. My sight is weakened, and my presence is tied to my ward. They have taken it far from here. That is why I am fading. Find the wards. Bring them back. Tuatha be with you. We will meet again.
That took longer than I hoped. It's hard to be patient when I know the fate of my kingdom is at stake. Tell me you have good tidings. Or did they escape with the Ansei wards? Damn it all! Thoda said Satura's sons were dangerous. That's certainly true now. With the Ansei wards, they can raise an army faster than I can. We have to stop them. We have to send Uafa and Alisan to join their father in oblivion. I've done everything in my power to avoid calling on the Ashaba. But I no longer have a choice. We must have their help to recover the Ansei wards. I would avoid contacting them directly, however. Will you be my envoy, Wayfarer? Thank you. Most of the Ashaba live together, wandering the desert, going gods know where. Track them down, and tell their leader Marima that the Alik'r needs him again. We need the Ashaba to fight the Withered Hand. The Ashaba often spend this season camping at Morwa's bounty to the south. God's willing, perhaps they are still there. Marima sent his daughter to warn me of the Withered Hand. They wanted to help. I regret that I turned them away. I hope I needn't remind you to keep this quiet. Rumors will spread about the Withered Hand, but we should try to keep the theft of the Ansei wards a secret. I have many political enemies who would try to turn this to their advantage. Of course it will. But what am I to do? Allow my public image to endanger the kingdom? Sometimes a king cannot save his face and his people at the same time. Still, I would prefer we not shout our plans from the rooftops.
Do you have a moment? You there. There's gold for you if you'll lend me your time. I am a scholar of some import. Import. That is to say, I've traveled quite far. From Cyrodiil, just to study this forgotten shore. I sorely need an assistant. Ansei at Oanok? He's my guide to Alik'r. He shows me the best routes and helps me make camp. But he doesn't know much about the great history of this land. I need someone to look around the ruins for an ancient sword. Legend says it only appears to a chosen few. I've had to ask strangers to walk through the ruins to look for it. Untrained eyes. I'm that desperate. Ansei at Oanok might tell you where to look, if you're willing. I appreciate the assistance from common folk such as yourself. This sword is a significant specimen of lore, direct evidence of a legendary event in ancient Redguard history. There are books about this, but as you may be illiterate, I'll enlighten you. I suspect this is the site where sword singer Navid slew Ilkub, his ally, over the love of the fair Saide. The blade of a sword singer is a physical link between ancient Yokuda and Alik'r. Navid used this particular sword to slay his rival and then himself. As a piece of history, it belongs in a proper Imperial museum. The sword singers were so disciplined they could create a spirit sword. A sword made from their very thoughts. Not many could attain such strength of mind. Navid's sword is rare, as it apparently persisted after his death. The blade of a sword singer is a physical link between ancient Yokuda and Alik'r. Navid, no one's seen the sword or had any luck amongst these ruins. A pity, really. I had such high hopes for some of them.
I'm glad that the Imperial has found someone else to talk to. His haughtiness is suffocating. Yes, indeed it does. It is a story of jealousy and betrayal. Have you not heard the Ballad of Navid? In the early days of the Regatta, a powerful Ansei named Yagub led a vanguard of 13 great warriors, sword singers all. In those days, Redguard bonds of fellowship were even stronger than they are now. These men were as brothers. One of the warriors, Navid, was strong but covetous. His dearest companion, Ilkub, had met a woman named Saida, whose beauty was legendary. Hair like polished obsidian and eyes like darkest sapphires. Navid's jealousy grew and grew. Yes, just so. While Ilkub stood on the beach stringing his legendary bow, Navid crept up behind and thrust his sword deep into Ilkub's back. Before Ilkub died, it is said that he looked on Navid with such sadness that Navid's heart broke in two. Racked with guilt, Navid fled to his tent, took up his grandest blade, and killed himself. When Saida heard of what happened, she threw herself into the water from the highest cliff. She was not seen again. The sword in question is a wondrous object, and Herminius Sophis believes it will appear to those who have a connection with death or whatever lies beyond. I'm glad that the Imperial has found someone else to talk. The sword in question is a wondrous object. The great scholar from Cyrodiil doesn't know. Imagine that. The magnificent scholar believes that the sword is too damaged to be used anymore, if it even exists at all. He wants to preserve it in a safe warehouse in Cyrodiil, where all the other artifacts have been taken, I imagine. If not me, another would surely stand here. My advice to you is simply to look along the shore. Others searched inland and were disappointed. this place. The sword is cursed. You seek the sword, is it not so? I must tell you, you are not the first to discover it. Others tried to take it, and paid a heavy toll. Take up the blade, and you will see. The sword-cursed are here among us already, circling like half-starved jackals. Can you not sense their jealousy? Their spite? The air is thick with it. The curse was forged in blood and envy. I murdered my dearest friend in a jealous rage, and the blade bears that taint still. The sword-cursed cannot bear the thought of losing the blade. If you touch it, they will come for you. Yes, and they will not stop so long as you carry it. Once you fall, and fall you will be consumed by the same jealous desire that drives them. They are long dead, and thus cannot be killed, though they will sleep for a time. But the blade calls out to them, always. When they wake, they shall seek it out again, and the one who keeps it. You have been warned. Did you recover the sword? We must speak before you go further with it. I did not expect you would find it. Only those who are different are capable of such a feat. What do you intend to do with it? Only those with the keenest senses can even see it. And only one without a soul should be able to take it from its resting place. I do not know how you lifted it unless your soul... No matter. What is your intention? I urge you to reconsider. You do him no favors by giving him this blade. You know the curse it bears. Anyone who carries the sword will be attacked by those tortured spirits. Only the dishonored one is not so bound. Even if Herminius Sophis escapes the vengeful spirits, he will take the sword to Cyrodiil. However cursed this sword may be, it is still a relic steeped in our history, our heritage. It must stay in the Alik'r. That is for the best. Leave it at the lion's tomb on the shore. Then talk to Herminius Sophis before you leave. Perhaps he will abandon his foolish search. I warned you, but still you took the sword. And now you bring it to my tomb? Are you deranged? The sword curse will return soon. Take the sword away, quickly. I cannot. Do I not suffer enough? It has been centuries since I committed that heinous crime, and the shame is no less potent. That sword is a reminder I cannot bear. Take it away. I may still find some small measure of peace. No, I cannot. I will not. This is all Ilku's fault. His and Saida's. I will... No. Your words are true. Leave the sword with me.
Any luck finding the sword yet? So few people will work as hard as I do at these things. I'm not surprised that you didn't find anything. It takes keen eyes and an educated mind to fully identify significant artifacts. I may just abandon this site and go deeper in the desert anyway. I heard there were burial sites.
No, I understand. If you change your mind...
What do you want?
I do not haggle.
This is truly a sign from Redguard.